It's Game 6 and a chance for the Nuggets to put this series away. Can they do it, or will the Clippers force a Game 7? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. Let's get it. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. First things first, I don't know if you noticed, but my last episode just dropped today. That's because the last game, I felt ill while recording it. I don't know what happened, but I got like a little bit of stomach flu, and I had to power through making it, and then wasn't able to touch it at all yesterday, and then today I was able to finally cut it up and post it. But if you can tell, I don't even sound like myself right now because I'm still feeling it. But we're gonna get through it because this is all what Champions is about, right? We're gonna try to muscle through this whole thing. So this was the Game 6 of the Nuggets versus Clippers series, and the chance for the Nuggets to finally put this thing to rest and send the Clippers fishing. The Nuggets looked to close the round one series, and their starting lineup was with Jokić, AG, Jamal Murray, CB, and MPJ, so the typical five. The Nuggets were wearing their white jerseys, and the Clippers with their blue jerseys. And the Clippers, unfortunately, won. They pushed Game 7 with a final score of 111 to 105. I was so hoping for this series to be over with. I can't take this series anymore. It is so intense, and I just don't want to see the Clippers anymore. I want to go to the next, games. I don't want to see the Nuggets versus Clippers. This is so tiring. But let's see what happened in the game here. So first quarter, the Clippers controlled the tip, and Dunn got a layup immediately with the first points of the game. AG then muscled up with a 2 to get the Nuggets on the board, and then Clippers get a 4-point lead, but Jokić sinks a 3 to cut it back to 1. Murray then with a floater gets the Nuggets lead, their first lead, and then Murray hits a 3 to give Nuggets a 4-point lead. But then Jokić gets a block on one end, and Murray with the floater gets the bucket plus the foul. This is where the Nuggets were actually feeling it. This is probably the only stint of the entire game where they were actually feeling confident. They had energy, because then Kawhi, who was a menace to the Nuggets, not just him, really. It was unfortunately Harden decided to show up, and Normal Powell, with his annoying mug, decided to show up as well. So Kawhi kept getting buckets for the Clippers, and then Batum sinks a 3 to make it a 2-point game. Luckily, the Nuggets win the first quarter, 28-25. Not a very high-scoring quarter. If you have paid attention to the quarters there in the previous games and everything, not a very high-scoring quarter, really, for either team. But I'm sure they're both tired by now. They both, I can't, expect, or I can't agree with any idea that the Clippers wanted to go to Game 7. I think there was partly some of them, maybe not all, definitely the champions wanted to go to Game 7, but some of them probably got retired and were like thinking like, let's just end this. I'm done. Like, and part of them looked like it still. Like a lot of them, obviously, like Powell was fiery tonight. But there was some others that just were a little bit lethargic as well. So this is a rough series for sure. Second quarter, in the non-Jokić minutes, the Nuggets lineup was with Murray, MPJ, AG, Brody, and DJ. Nuggets started the quarter off with a Murray missed three. Harden on the other end gets fouled and makes both free throws for the first points of the quarter. Then Bogey gets a tip in to give Clippers the lead again. AG gets a floater to get Nuggets on the board in the quarter. And then Harden gets a layup to give Clippers a 3-point lead. Jokić then checks back in at the 8:53 mark, which is, if you've noticed, also a little earlier than he normally does. He normally checks in around between the 7:30 to maybe 6-minute mark. This time is 8:53. Brody sinks a three to cut the lead to 1. Harden then gets the lead back up to 8 with flopping on CB at the 3 line. It's atrocious just how many times Harden is able to convince the refs he got fouled when he clearly did not, and he just is a big flopper. I know Jokić has been a little bit bad himself, but there is no one I feel like right now that is worse than Harden. Can we go back to that moment where Nuggets Nation was just chanting Harden sucks? That, I want that moment again. AG with a steal, and then Brody a 3 cuts the lead to 3, and then Harden hits another 3 to get Clippers first to 50. P-Watt hits a big 3 to cut the lead back to 1, and then Jokić with a layup to give the Nuggets the lead again. Clippers win the second 33-29. Clippers on top going into the half 58-57. Third quarter starts, and Nuggets start the quarter off with CB going straight to the rim with a layup in the first points of the quarter. That was the last bucket that they would get for about 5 minutes. No joking. It was a long drought where there was nothing but Clippers making buckets. So Batum hits a 3 to get the Clippers up by 2. Kawhi hits a 3 to force Nuggets to take the first timeout very early on. MPJ hits a 3, and it's the first bucket of the night for him. This was the first stint to try to limit the drought that they had been going on. So finally MPJ hits, and that was his first bucket again. We need more from him, but at the same time you kind of understand because his shoulder is fucked up. So what do you do then? Because it's great that he's showing grit and is staying in the game, but at the same time, at what cost? Is it hurting the Nuggets more than it's helping? He did make some decent plays defensively, but he is not shooting the way we need him to be shooting, and it's really unfortunate. So CB then knocks down a 3 to cut it to 4, followed by Murray with a jumper to make it a 2-point game. And then Clippers go on a huge run of 6-0 to extend the lead back to 8. CB finally hits a 3 to end the drought. AG dunks it to cut the lead to 11. Derrick Jones, because the lead actually got up to 16. They had a 16-point lead, and slowly but surely the Nuggets were able to chip that down. So you had the 3 from CB to cut it to 13, and then AG with the dunk cut it to 11. And then Derrick Jones Jr. sinks a 3, but CB responds with 3 to hit himself, and then it keeps it a 12-point lead at this point. Jokić then sinks a 3 to cut it to 11. As you can see, it's going back and forth, back and forth. Clippers crush the Nuggets, though, in the third, winning it 32-22. They won that quarter by 10 points. Not a great quarter if you're looking to close out a team. Fourth quarter, non-Jokić minutes, surprisingly for the Nuggets, and they opt for a lineup of P-Watt, Brody, Murray, AG, and MPJ. However, this lineup does not stay on for very long. Nuggets get a steal, and Brody misses the fast break dunk, but luckily P-Watt is there to clean it up for the first points of the quarter. Murray then hits a big 3 to knock the lead back to 11, and then Jokić checks back in early at the 9-minute mark. Harden hits a 3 to get the Clippers first to 100, and then AG gets a block and Murray a layup to get Nuggets past 100 and force Clippers to a timeout. And it was really interesting because by this time, David Adelman had already used up most of the Nuggets timeouts. He had 2 left, and the Ty Lue of the Clippers had like 6 timeouts left. And by this time, they managed to force Clippers to drain all of their timeouts. They get a timeout here, and then Nuggets down by 5 as Brody fouls Kawhi. He makes the first but misses the second. With 18 seconds left on the clock, Nuggets quickly use their last timeout, but they aren't able to make any buckets out of that timeout. And the Nuggets, though, luckily win the fourth quarter. Lucky how, I don't know, happened. Lucky it would be if they had actually won the game, but they won it. They won the fourth quarter by 26 by 21. 26 to 21, and then the Clippers won the game once again. Final score 111 to 105, forcing a game 7. So this intensity is not ending yet. We are still going, and just meanwhile, we can't forget the fact that meanwhile, OKC is getting a ton of rest right now. Each game that this continues to extend, they are getting that much more rest. Now it's down to just one more game. So that's unfortunate. Like the Nuggets had an opportunity here to end this, get a little bit of rest, just some kind of rest, and they weren't able to do it. So now I think the first game, whoever wins this will face OKC, I think is like on Tuesday or something like that. So like it starts very soon. The stats here. So if we look at the stats, we have Michael Porter Jr., who played 24 minutes tonight, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 2 for 5 from field, 1 for 2 from 3, 0 for 1 from free throw. He had 0 turnovers, 0 personal fouls. He was a minus 24. Aaron Gordon played 40 minutes tonight. He had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 9 for 16 from field, 1 for 6 from 3, and he had 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul. He was a minus 2. Jokić played 41 minutes tonight, made 25 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 11 for 22 from field, 2 for 4 from 3-pointers, 1 for 2 from free throws. He had 4 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. He was a +1. CB played 40 minutes tonight, made 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He was 5 for 7 from field, 2 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws. He had 0 turnovers, 4 personal fouls. He was a +4. And then Jamal Murray, who played the most amount of minutes tonight of any Nugget, made 21 points. So not a great night for him either. He had we should have had at least a 30-point game from him. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 blocks, 9 for 19 from field, 2 for 6 from 3, 1 for 1 from free throw, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul. He was a +2. And then Westbrook still had a decent game. He played 34 minutes, 14 minutes off the bench, 10 rebounds, so he got a double-double. He was the only Nugget to get a double-double. 6 assists. He shot 5 for 10 from field, 2 for 4 from 3, 2 for 3 from free throws. He had 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, and he was a 0. One of those turnovers, however, too, was a ridiculous turnover. They cornered him, and he just threw it. Like Hail Mary, just threw it, and there was no one where he was throwing it to, so I don't know why he just threw it. And it was really unfortunate because it came right after he did an amazing play, and then he just kind of bails on the last other play. So overall, we had 39 rebounds to their 35, 24 assists to their 23. So we out-rebounded them and out-assisted them, and yet we still lost in this one. We had 6 steals to their 9. We had 7 blocks to their 9. We shot 52% from field. They shot 50%. We shot 40% from 3. They shot 30%. We shot 66% from free throws. They shot 86%. So that's a big issue right there. We had 12 turnovers. They had 7. We had 14 personal fouls. They had 15. So pretty much this game was down to the fact that they were not able to contain the ball, those possessions. The turnovers killed them, and the not hitting free throws killed them. And then, I mean, the steals and the blocks are part of those turnovers. So it's pretty much the turnovers that killed them and the free throws. That's the basic game. And that's actually leads into the big takeaways for this game for me. So this was the Nuggets game to lose, and they didn't measure up to the moment. They came out flat, made a couple of runs to take the lead a couple of times, but overall, they were always playing uphill with way too many turnovers. A lot of these happened with Jokić trying to draw fouls, and that and there is where it needs to change. This happened in Game 3, where the Nuggets lost big time. He needs to stop focusing on drawing fouls and just play basketball, because this is playoff basketball now, and they are letting a lot more go than in regular season. There are several fouls that the Nuggets could have gotten called for as well, but lucked out, the refs let it go. If the Nuggets plan on winning Game 7, then they need to play Nuggets basketball and no trying to trick the system. This has really been frustrating to see Jokić turn over the ball several times. I mean, the other night when he had when they had that big blowout in Game 3, he had 7 turnovers just by himself because he was trying to draw the foul way too many times, and they're not calling it, and instead it goes into a turnover. So buckle in and focus more on playing basketball, playing Nuggets basketball, sharing the rock. That's what got them the 2 big wins this recent time in Game 4 and Game 5. So, but however, this is exactly why they earned home court. They earned it so that in Game 7 they could play at home, and they need to come out hotter than they've ever come out before. How much they crushed the Clippers in Game 5, well, they need to double that, and they need to solidify this win. No losing a 20-point lead in Game 7. There is no excuses anymore. They need to lock this thing up and head into round 2, because OKC, again, is resting comfortably, and they are just waiting to destroy whoever comes out of this series. So, Nuggets got to lock in if they plan on moving forward. That's pretty much it. So the next game, Game 7, will be on Saturday, and it will be another 7 Pacific time, 8 Mountain time game. It's just one game. And so, yeah, hopefully the Nuggets can do it. You know, but there is good news tonight, and that is that the Avalanche forced Game 7. So let's go Avalanche. Go Avs, go. That is one that I was really hoping that they would win. It's very interesting because most people would say that the Clippers have been outplaying the Nuggets, and yet the Nuggets are still winning. I kind of feel that way about the Avs and Stars game. The Avs have been outplaying the Stars, and yet somehow the Stars have been kind of leading the series because they sneak in at the very last seconds with the goals, and they end up winning. So Game 7, it's in Dallas, and hopefully the Avalanche can close this thing out too. So we have 2 Game 7s. Colorado has 2 Game 7s on Saturday. Get ready for the intensity and the heart attacks. That's all I got to say. But that's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like and subscribe. Share it to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. We'll catch you later.